things getting worse and worse and worse. And I think it's really a mix of the two. But I agree with you that when I've heard, Max Kaiser put the date of April on it, that by April you're going to see the death of the dollar. That's not what I've watched them do the last 5-6 years. They drive the dollar down, and then they drive the other stuff down, and it just kind of seesaws back and forth. But overall, all the currencies are sinking, and it's done in a way where people don't notice, and then the inflation that is there shows up in the commodities, in the stock markets, like you were saying. And so yuppies go, oh, look, the stock market's been flat in 10 years, but at least it's flat. No, it's not, because it takes more of those dollars and other currencies to buy those stocks. The truth is, there is inflation inherent out there. It's just more of a rotting, slower inflation.
That's correct. But I think we have to be very, very careful about the use of the word collapse, because I think when you say, the euro's going to collapse, they're printing more Deutschmarks, which by the way, was disinformation, spread from some pretty high levels, Alex, about Germany reprinting the Deutschmark. Just wasn't true. They're very much committed to keeping the euro alive. These are globalists. They're not going to let the EU collapse. No,
they're going to bankrupt the whole world and use NATO and Europe as the core of the world government. They've said that.
Exactly. NATO is going to be the forerunner of the militarized New World Order that I'm predicting that they'll form. It'll be probably called the League of Democracy, that's already been floated by John McCain and others. It'll exclude, finally, the communist countries, which they should have excluded at the beginning of the UN if they didn't intend to create conflict as they do. But the NATO is prototyped as the militarized version of the New World Order. And it's very, very dangerous to be allowing these foreign wars at NATO to be charging in. And increasingly, the U.S. is using NATO because, the U.S. doesn't get people don't get as upset. But I think it's very important to realize that they're going to continue to draw out these slowdown in the economy, the currency, and other things. They have a great deal to prop things up, a lot more than the power that people think. People like Peter Schiff, as much as I respect him, he needs to understand more what these globalists are all about, what this dark side of government is all about.
I know. I mean, I like Peter, but I've had him on, and he still kind of acts like there's no New World Order or global government, when literally the last 3 years, they went from saying there is no plan for world government to we're mega banks, we're authoritarian, we're going to set up a world government. But everybody's so used to them always denying it that you're not supposed to say it. I mean, I can show you Time Magazine, Newsweek, Financial Times of London, Economist Magazine, Davos meetings, Herman von Rompuy, Barroso, Gordon Brown. I can go through